When I was a teenager, I worked nights part-time at the airport sorting packages for a major US carrier. I worked with my best friend, and since we both lived about 20 miles away from work, we'd carpool. He'd usually meet me at my house and we'd drive down to work. My house at the time was nestled in at the edge of a state forest, heavily wooded area. One night we're coming back about 4 a.m., I park my car, we get out, nothing unusual. Typical woodsy nighttime summer sounds, crickets, some birds. All of a sudden we hear a blood-curdling scream like I've never heard before. A woman was definitely in distress or being raped or attacked or something in the woods not far from home. I run inside the house and probably give my parents a heart attack by shouting, "I need the shotgun." Dad jumps out of bed, and by this time he hears the screams as well. Nice cool night, windows open. We load up, grab flashlights, and 45 seconds later are out the back door, sprinting with my buddy towards the sounds. At the edge of the woods we stop and listen. Nothing. No screaming whatsoever. A minute goes by, we walk into the woods, shining our lights all over, walking down the trails, shining lights up into the trees, but we hear nothing again. We call out, we hang around for an additional 15 minutes or so before heading back. It was the oddest, most scary thing that happened while living there. We get back to the house, and Mom had called the sheriff's office, who took our info down and said they'd send a car out. No one ever came that night, but later the next morning, we did get a visit from an old deputy who took our report. The deputy listened, and then suggested it was likely a fox, big cat, bobcat, maybe even a mountain lion. I swear to this day it was a human female screaming for her life. But after searching the nearby woods during the day, we found nothing. No one was reported attacked or missing. A few weeks later, I'm home asleep at night, window open, and wake to my dachshund on my bed staring out the window, shaking uncontrollably. I look over, and there framed perfectly by the light of the moon, was a large cat on its hind paws peering in the window. I jump out of bed, startling it, and it quietly jumps away. We never saw or heard anything after that. My family moved a few years later. So I guess the deputy was right, it probably was a big cat. But to this day those sounds still haunt me late at night when I'm out camping or spending time near the woods. I used to work at a summer camp in the hill country. After the kids went to sleep, the counselors would go about screwing around and doing the usual stupid things that 18 to 24-year-olds do when minimally supervised and plenty of space to roam. One night, on a full moon, a group of us had taken one of the trucks out to a nearby field to smoke and drink. The field was surrounded by woods, filled with waist-high grass, and had a single road running down the middle of it. We stopped in the exact center of the field and were chilling for about 20 minutes when someone says, "Who is that?" It wasn't a what, but a who question which piqued my interest. I turned around and at the entrance to the field where we had come from, there's this person just standing there. They were about 100 yards off and it was nighttime, clear with a full moon, so we couldn't make out much detail except that they were wearing light white clothes and were white. It was super weird. We called to them to come join us but they just started pacing back and forth in front of the entrance to the field. This went on for a couple of minutes. Well, about 2/3 of the people in the bed of the truck were high and started to work themselves into a stoner's paranoia, so my buddy and I took over the cab and turned the truck around to put the high beams on whomever was over there at the edge of the woods. With the beams out, we could see them pacing back and forth. As soon as we flipped them on, it was just field and woods with road going off straight ahead. Turn the lights off and there the person is pacing back and forth. Lights on, person gone. Lights off, white figure clearly walking back and forth. The people in the back of the truck were losing their fucking minds at this point. I turned to my buddy in the driver's seat and said, "We have to drive through there to get to the camp." He just says, "Yup." I told everyone in the back to sit down and that we were heading back. One girl starts crying. Two guys are pulling out pocket knives. Terrible idea since they're in the back of a bouncing pickup truck on a dirt road and stoned out of their minds. The last guy just grabs the side of the truck and looks terrified. We turn on the high beams and drove towards the entrance. No figure in sight. We pass into the woods along the road, no figure. Someone from the bed of the truck yells, "She's still there," after we pass through. We got back to the camp, hit the beer and weed and never went back to that field again. When I told a sanitized version of that story to the campers, they laughed at me. I had never seen anything like that before or since, but I am now convinced I saw a ghost. I don't know what it was about, but I saw it.